Assad regime, Russia, and Iran, three member states behind the conquest of and carnage in Aleppo, you bear responsibility for these atrocities. When one day there is a full accounting of the horrors committed in this assault of Aleppo, and that day will come sooner or later, you will not be able to say you did not know what was happening. You will not be able to say you were not involved. We all know what was happening, and we all know you were involved. It should shame you. Instead, by all appearances, it is emboldening you. Are you truly incapable of shame? Is there literally nothing that can shame you? Is there no act of barbarism against civilians, no execution of a child that gets under your skin, that just creeps you out a little bit? Is there nothing you will not lie about or justify?
Those were damning words, but they were damning words of the Obama administration.
I know.
Her words were damning to the United States of America. Her words were damning to, yes, the British Parliament and the British people and the German people and the French and the entire West. I guess I really shouldn't blame the French, because Hollande actually told Barack Obama that he was willing to blow up, be part of an operation that would blow up planes on the ground that were killing children and women and destroying hospitals. How Samantha Power, with all due respect, a woman that I respect, but how she sits there and says those words, working for an administration that has been mute on this issue, or backed down when they actually finally did show some spine, is unspeakable. These pictures are not just the legacy of Putin and Assad. These pictures are the legacy of the United States and their president.
The stories that poured out of the refugees, I realize it's early in the morning, but the stories that he told me that were told to him, he said he had 50 to 55 people who were in shock, traumatized by what they'd endured. They'd seen their sons, their husbands beheaded in front of them, some of them. Some of them had seen their daughters raped. Some of them had seen their kin, their husbands or other children, burned to death, burned alive. And this is what has been going on for 5 years.
And Willie, what we have known has been going on. And we've had people sitting in this chair where Mark Halperin is right now, foreign policy leaders, for the past 5 years, saying there have been 10,000 killed in Syria. What do we do? Well, it's hard. You know, it's hard. There have been 20,000. It's hard. We just don't know what to do. It's hard. 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. We have a full-blown Holocaust.
You have women choosing suicide.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the things that we didn't mention yesterday, but you actually have mothers going to priests saying, "Will God forgive me if I kill my child?" So ISIS doesn't torture them when they get them and kill them.
Samantha Power just said it right there in that clip we played. She said, quote, "We all know what was happening." She was addressing Assad and Putin. She could have been saying it for herself and for President Obama.
She's been very frustrated.
Another thing that's clearly evident from the past 5 years is they should just shut down the United Nations. Just shut it down. Because they do nothing. They've done so little in this regard.
Mike, thank God you said that. You know what they do? They come here in September and they have parties. That's all they do. This is disgraceful. If there were ever a legitimate cause for the United Nations, it would have been over